pen pals going between Alexandra and Texas with my class of 9 and 10-year-olds, and so I'm sure this is just the beginning of some really amazing relationships. Kia ora.
Hi, my name's Anna Marie, and she's made me emotional now. So yeah, I'm from a small town called Queenstown, which is a resort town. It's a tourist place in the mountains. It's very lovely that you need to come. Here's a picture of my family out on a recent 4-drive trip that we went on about a year ago, and we get out into the outdoors a lot down there. You can probably see why it's so beautiful. And that's also a picture of my horse. She's a 4-year-old quarter horse, and I broke her in last year and do a lot of riding and been training her in barrel racing. Some of my highlights for Texas, there's again so many of them. One of them would be getting out and going forward driving on a couple of the ranches that we got to stay with on the host families. I just love getting out and seeing, just a little bit of the environment that we were around, and we were able to jump into this big, it's called Big Red actually. It's an ex-military truck as a team, and we got shaken around the Springfields Ranch, and it was a real laugh. We had a great time. And another highlight for me was being able to be involved in helping building a ramp with the Woodville Ramp It Up for Freedom, and it's a project that they go out and they build ramps for people that are really in need. It was fantastic to be able to be involved in this project and just do that, and we had a lot of fun doing it as well, but it was particularly emotional for me because this man that we were building the ramp for, he hadn't been able to get outside very easily for the last 6 years after having a stroke, I do believe. And it was particularly impacting for my heart because my dad had a stroke last year, and it was just amazing to be able to see what the community was doing, and I just know what it means to the families in that place because we had so much help when my dad was unwell, so it's just great that Rotary is involved in these things. I'm going to pass you over to Dan.
Thank you, Anna Marie. My name's Dan Hallier, 34 years old, and I live in the city of Dunedin. We have about 120,000 people that live there, and as a career, I've been told you call them here bean counters. Okay? It turns out we're as well respected here as we are at home. I have a young family. I have 2 boys, 3 years old and 6 years old, and I miss them heaps, and I'm going to get a chance to see them again in a week's time, but we'll be making the most of the next few days while we're here as well. My highlights before I flip to the next stage, when we came here, we didn't think anyone would know about New Zealand. We thought we'd have to do a lot of explaining where it was, what it looked like, but we've met so many people that have been there or have friends that have been there, or it's on their bucket list, and I'm hoping after seeing that opening video it's on everyone's bucket list here. We'd love to see y'all down in New Zealand, and we love tourism, so come along. Now, we got to visit the Indian reservation of the Alabama Coshota tribe, and that was really special for our whole team, getting to see something that is quite familiar to us in terms of Indigenous people, and we had a great time down there, so we thank you for arranging that. Finally, as I flick the slide, there's a special man here who we got to meet on our travels. He's the only Texan that owns an All Blacks rugby jersey, and he's kindly wearing it today for us, so thank you, Neil Nathan.
Thanks, Dan. Good on you, Neil. I'm from Dunedin, like Dan, a university town. We're known for our scarfies. We love them, and sometimes we love to hate them because they burn couches in our streets. We have beautiful heritage buildings, but what I think is most beautiful of all, of course, is my family. I'm a wife, that's my husband Alex. I'm a mum to 3-year-old Caleb, and they are my world, and I really look forward to seeing them in a week. By profession, I'm apparently a tree hugger. I call myself an environmental lawyer. Thank you. I've been a Rotarian for 10 years. I'm a past president, I'm a past assistant governor, and I'm soon to be a past GSE team leaver. So I'm starting to wonder whether I'm just getting past it altogether. I wanted to talk to you about some firsts. It's not often in life that you get to experience new things, and virtually every day on this trip we have had firsts. It's been an amazing journey for all of us. It's awesome. I'm going to talk about the food because I like food, and I have been enjoying your food. What have we had? We've had Tex-Mex, barbecue, corn dogs, catfish, hush puppies, fried chicken at Pickett House in Woodville. And man, when you've had that, you roll out of there. You feel just like that little guy up there. The food is good. And of course, crawfish at the Crawfish Boil in Galveston on our first day in Texas. Now that was an experience. Later on, we saw where those little critters actually live. And if we'd known that at the time, I'm not sure we would have eaten so many. Some of our other firsts have already been mentioned, I won't repeat them, but I would like to add Bucky's bathrooms. The Columbia Scientific Balloon Facility at Palestine, amazing, and they've just finished having a balloon in Wanaka. And shopping for cowboy boots so that we could be dime store cowboys. Another first has been attending 12 Rotary meetings in 3 weeks. Now for me, that's going to ensure the perfect attendance this year. I've loved meeting you all, I should say y'all. I have really enjoyed seeing Rotary in action and being part of some of your projects. I love some of your ideas, and I am going to pinch them and take some of them home and try and replicate them. Because hey, don't reinvent the wheel, just do good stuff out there. And what it's done is it's reinforced for me how proud I am to be a Rotarian. And I hope that standing beside me here are our future Rotarians, because they've got to see all that too. Your generosity, your warmth, I just can't say enough. It is a life-changing experience, personally and professionally, and I really encourage your district to stick with GSE because it is just awesome. Now, before we conclude, we would like to say a wee thank you to you from us, and here it is.
Ruana Tapanua,
Ruana Tapanua, Pati Pati Te Moana. Oe te aroha, oe te aroha, te mama ia oe. Oe te aroha, oe te aroha, te mama ia oe. Ruana Tapanua, Pati Pati.
But wait, there's more. I bring greetings and a gift of friendship for DG Don from our District Governor, Jonathan Usher. He's thrilled that we've been able to be a part of this experience and to share it with you. Please accept this on his behalf.
Thank you very much. GSE has been, as John's told of his own experience, it's been the same with me. I loved it. I met many friends, still have friends. And whenever I visited your country, that was before I had met, no, that was after I had met Jonathan Usher. I met him, we discussed the possibility of having an exchange, awful excited about it, and I knew I would meet him again in Sydney, Australia, where he was performing his magic trip. And when I arrived in the House of Friendship during the convention, the first time I saw Jonathan Usher, your district governor, John Delaney, was already sitting in the audience waiting for him to perform. So we knew who we were looking for when we got there. Your country is beautiful, and thank you, and your visit here has been beautiful to our hearts. Thank you very much.
Please come and visit us in New Zealand. We only hope that your Texan team gets shown as good a time as we have been. And now I think it's their turn to tell you all about themselves.
I guess my only regret is that I haven't had a chance to have each and every one of you get to experience these people up close and personal. I tried to get them around to as many tables as I could last night, but you kept talking and we just couldn't get all the way across the room. There's more to go for the New Zealand team. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to take them over to Texas A&M. And no, that's Bryant College Station. And they're going to attend the Texas A&M women's softball game against Ole Miss at 1 o'clock. The only athletic event of the week that happens to be in town. They said they wanted to see one of those, so we got it done. Vocational events all day on Monday, and then on Tuesday, to check off another box for them, we're taking them to a little place called the Alamo in San Antonio. And let's see, Thursday, the Bush Museum, Wednesday afternoon, A&M athletic facilities, and Thursday by midday, we're driving them back to the airport for their departure Thursday afternoon to go to Los Angeles that afternoon, and then that night, the plane back to New Zealand, where they'll be accompanied, by the way, by this bunch. This bunch puts me in mind of a very important person who's not able to be with us this afternoon because of some family obligations. My cohort in this enterprise is a lovely and able woman by the name of Rochelle Springfield, that many of you know, another former GSE team leader. And she was primarily responsible for organizing the route, the itinerary, if you will, that the New Zealand team traveled all around our district. So I wish she could be here to share this moment with me. So for now, the U.S. team, come on, guys. I have to grin just now because when we were told about our time slot, Becky said, okay, which group goes first? And I thought about it for about 5 seconds, and I said, I think that's probably going to be the experienced veteran performer New Zealand team that's had about 3 weeks of work under their belt, and we'll let the Texans follow up. As near as I can tell, this is their first live stage production, but they'll handle it swimmingly. Their team leader, Mr. Jerry Springfield of the Woodville Club. Thank you.
And the Lone Star State is big. There's a reason they say everything is bigger in Texas.